Now, initially when I thought I was going to start doing top 5 lists, I thought, wow, I didn't think my channel could be much more of a What Culture ripoff. And then I thought, well, what am I going to do for my first one? I know, I'll do something completely self-aggrandizing, as my opinion actually matters. Then once the crushing sadness subsided, I decided to do my top 5 superstars of this year so far. Now, the rules for this top 5, only what a superstar has done on the main roster will count, so no NXT, which unfortunately means no Shinsuke Nakamura, little to no chance for Finn Balor, and most crushing of all, no Alexa Bliss. But we'll press on. As the title of this list indicates, I'll be going from this year so far, so we're starting at January up and through July. And the trump card for all of this is my opinion, this is not scientific fact, so if you disagree with it, you can go ahead and disagree, and that's fine. We can all move on, live together, hold hands, and sing Kumbaya. Kumbaya. Number 5. Cesaro. Now I have to admit something to you. I am in fact a card-carrying, or rather sign-carrying member of the Cesaro section, by which I mean when Cesaro's on my TV, I grab my sign and hold it up and pretend he's right next to me. I'm cool. When Cesaro came back the night after WrestleMania from his shoulder surgery, everyone lost their mind, for good reason. Cesaro is the most talented technician currently on the roster. I know a lot of people have said since Daniel Bryan, I actually like Cesaro a lot more than Daniel Bryan. What? Come at me. But he's had great matches on free TV. He's had great matches on pay-per-view. He's been a part of the Intercontinental scene for a long time now, which leads me to a thing I think they could really do to not lose Cesaro in the shuffle. If I can do a mini WWE what could be in the middle of my WWwhatif top 5. Oh, there's some Inception level branding there. They could give Cesaro the Intercontinental belt, have him hold it until he breaks Honky Tonk Man's record. This would give Cesaro a certain amount of cash, and it would give the belt a certain level of importance that it really hasn't had in a while. A good long title defense like that, and since Cesaro was the man to do it, since he can have a great match with anyone on the roster, and plus he can swing with any man on the roster. Wow, that's an uncomfortable thought. Next, number 4. Seth Rollins. Now wait. Step away from the comment section. I will fully be ready to eat crow, and if I can look into my wrestling crystal ball here, I will admit, come January of next year, Seth Rollins will probably be my number 1 or number 2 wrestler from this year, just for how long he's been back, and he hadn't done enough to rank any higher. Plus, for what he's done, he's in the top 5 of the current crop, which is nothing to sneeze at. When he came back at Extreme Rules, everyone again lost their mind. His matches at Money in the Bank, Battleground, great. It showed that knee's fine. He is ready to be that workhorse again, and everyone can love him, and we can pray at the Church of CrossFit Jesus. Plus, that WWE 24 really kind of made him look like a sympathetic puppy that everyone kind of wants to cuddle with. This is getting weird. The reason he fell this far down the list and he isn't at that 1 or 2 spot is when he came back, WWE wouldn't let me love him. He wouldn't let the fans love him. He couldn't just come back as a babyface to the ovation, to everyone cheering. No, Seth had to hurt us all. And he hurt us bad. Next, number 3. Kevin Owens! Kevin Owens has been putting on great matches this entire year. He's been putting on since he's been in the WWE. Heck, he was putting them on since he's been in Ring of Honor. Kevin Owens is great. Whether he's Steen, Owens, he's great. I go back to the Royal Rumble this year with that last man standing match he had with Dean Ambrose. And the entire feud, if I can cheat, the feud he had with Dean Ambrose over the IC title was all great. Going into 2 great ladder matches. The first at WrestleMania, then at Money in the Bank, where, my God, I think he almost died a couple of times. Pair of great matches with Sami Zayn. Like I said in my WWE What Was for Battleground, I think they won't stop until one of them kills the other in the ring. Much like Cesaro, he's been putting on great matches on free TV, and I'm going to make a bold prediction that in 2016, the remaining calendar of this year, Kevin Owens will be a world champion. I may live to regret saying that. Next! And before I reveal my number 2, I have to say I went back and forth on number 2 and number 1, but it came down to one of the rules I laid out for this top 5. What they did in this calendar year. So my number 2 is... AJ Styles. Now, if it would have just been my top 5 in the WWE currently, AJ would have been a number 1. I've been a fan of AJ since I randomly stumbled across TNA back in the far-off days when it was on this random day on your local Fox channel. But he was great. He's always been great. And what he's done so far this year in WWE is great. From the Royal Rumble entrance, which they kind of screwed up, everyone blamed Kevin Dunn, to a great feud with Chris Jericho that didn't end the best at WrestleMania, but let's not talk about WrestleMania. He moves that into a pair of solid matches with Roman Reigns, to the reforming of the club, to beating up John Cena. I'm very excited to see what they do with AJ, and I just like him so much. My number 1 superstar of 2016 so far, I have to give you a little bit of a story first. This originally gave me the idea to start posting videos on this channel. I want to take you back to WrestleMania. I originally pitched this fantasy booking, and this is what really gave the impetus for what became WWwhatif. Now imagine, 100,000 people packed in for WrestleMania. He's got him cinched up. He hits the DDT on the steel chair, rolls him over, and the entire crowd, 100,000 strong, chant, 1, 2, 3. And my number 1, Dean Ambrose beat Brock Lesnar. Now that didn't happen, but Dean Ambrose is still my top for 2016 so far. Take you back to the great Last Man Standing match he had with Kevin Owens. Rolled that into a great bit where he interrupted things for everyone at Roadblock, taking on Triple H. A match he had Triple H beaten, to a great build to a match with Brock Lesnar that had a disappointing payoff, to a somewhat mediocre start of a build, to a great midsection of a build with Jericho, to the Asylum match, which is better we don't talk about, and then finally at Money in the Bank, winning the briefcase the same night, cashing it in, and it's like the people said. That is why Dean Ambrose is my top superstar of 2016 so far. Well, those are my top 5. Do you agree, or do you more likely disagree because there's no New Day, no Sasha Banks, and I know everyone was really, really disappointed there was no Mojo Rawley. Let me know who your top 5 of 2016 are, and if you want, you could like this. I'd like you if you liked this, and maybe, if you subscribed, that'd be cool, but you probably just want to dislike it, and that'd be fine too.